Hello guys, my name is Tumika. This is gonna be part 2 where I give you the insights as to how to build a database in .NET as a database developer or as a programmer, but you need to know this. So please make sure that you watch a video that's going to be titled what is data access layer. So this is going to be part 2, right? So the part 2, what I want to focus on, I want to focus on this folder called tables. So in part 1 we talked about this folder called identity. Now this folder, so these are my other actual folders in a database. I can't show you a database, right? But I can tell you what it's in there. For example, under general, I have a folder called bank details. I have a folder called feedbacks. I have a folder called news feeds, notifications, subscription, trials. Under referrals, because I'm grouping them to say I have a referral creator, referral user, right? And then under media folder, I have docs for documentations. I have a videos and I have a video durations. And then under vote videos, I have those that like the videos, those that dislike the videos, right? Under startup, I have a version updates. Under tips, I have topics, I have a text, I have a suggestions. Under vote suggestions, you can like suggestion, you can dislike suggestions. So all of these classes, let me use example with news feeds, right? So this is a normal class, right? And then it has a properties and a constructor, and this is what I want to talk about. This will be the name of a table, but how do I know that? I'll show you in a second. The very first thing, there's an attribute called key. What it means is this news feed underscore ID is going to be a primary key. Denotes one or more properties that uniquely identify an entity. So this is my primary key. Then it's a column. The next column is going to be title. This column is going to be description, value, and created on. You're going to see this almost everywhere because anything that I put inside a table as a record, I need to know when that action happened. It's very important, right? So what I'm doing, this is very important to protect the integrity of a database. You can't allow anything to be submitted in a table as a record. You need to make sure that you provided a title, description, value, and when it was created, right? So this is what it's all about, properties. Then on the constructor, because I'm using this to say the data type of this column is going to be of type GoWith. Gone are the days where you would say it's going to be type int. Then the first record is going to be 1, the second one is going to be 2. Gone are the days or string. What we do now, and I would like to give a credit to this gentleman called Admire Muslaba. He was a CUT IT student from first year, second year, third years. That guy is brilliant. That guy uses his own knowledge in a real world to teach the students, and that's what I've learned a lot from him. So credit to him, because one of the things that he advised that we use it go with, and there's a reason why. Like I said, this I can teach you why. We'll talk about this. I can show you when we create the actual database. Okay, so in the constructor, I'm initializing to say GoWith.new GoWith. That's it. So how do you now register this to be a table in database? You go back to application DB context, and on the properties, let's look for news feeds. News. There we go. So this line, you just need to have it as a property, but of type DB set. Now this DB set, it needs to now make sure that it's linked to a news feed class, and this can be anything. So I don't like to mess them up, you know, because whatever name of the class, I want to make sure it's going to be the name of the table. So you can rename this to be anything, but just make sure that you know what you're doing. Do you understand? So this is how you do that. And then you're going to use migrations. So let me close this. You're going to use migrations. You see my migrations. We'll talk about migrations. So let's trace one for news feeds and see what happened. There we go. This is a migration. Let me open this class. So what happened here, I added a new migration, like this is entity framework stuff, and I can teach you all this. So what I did, I can run migration and show you how to now say, database, I want to give you something new because your schema is outdated. So we're using migrations, right? So this one is added newsfeed table so that I can see it like exactly. These are my migration. This was created when 2022 September the 1st, 14 seconds 2 minutes after 8 a.m. So this is will show you exactly. So what happens is migration builder create table. The name is going to be newsfeed, and these are the columns, right? See, this is going to be a table, the column of type go with. It's going to be unique identifier. It's not going to be nullable. So that required, it's very important, because when you look at your schema, it's going to say, is it nullable? No, right? Another one is title of type string. It's using n-varchar max. Description type string n-varchar max. Value of type string, so forth. But created on, it's of type datetime, and the type in a database in a SQL language going to be datetime too, and it's not nullable. And then constraint is going to be this. The primary key is going to be this one, and then it's going to drop if it finds any, or it's going to create one. So this migration, we can talk about this, right? So we are done with that. Do we still have time? Few minutes. So, but let me talk about something else, one-to-many. Let me go and look at something. Let's go for trial. So when you create an account on my website, you can activate a trial, right? I want to talk about a different type of a table called trials. In here, I have this to be a primary key. It's required. Is a trial active? When was the trial created? It's active until when? Because my system gives you an hour free trial. So you still need to use this. And as you can see, these are daytime. And then I have this ID. Now this ID, do you see? It's pointing to a class called application user, and that it's under identity folder. In part 1, we spoke about this. So here I'm going to denote it to say, denote a property used as a foreign key in a relationship, right? So it's required, it's a must, but this is going to be a foreign key, right? And then what happens is that in the constructor, I'm going to say, so this is where you initialize the defaults. For example, you're going to create a new GUID, and then it's active by default, it's going to be true. And the rest are passing information. And then we have a navigation property. So what you're going to do, you're going to use this property of type application user to get access to this guy. Oh, I'm excited to show you this. Listen, oh, my head just spin, because I fell in love with programming simply because of stuff like this. You get to learn the beauty of programming. The purpose of this, I can show you this in a real life. I can't show it now. I need you to schedule a session for 25 Rand. I need you to do that for 25 Rand. From Monday to Friday, I'm available from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. and I can teach you this. I'm going to do part 3. I want you to watch that video of part 3. What happens to this class called trials, and what happens to this class called newsfeeds. I want you to watch part 3. So this is what I do. I've built the license any tips. It's a fully fledged system. I've used my knowledge from many years ago, but I became so damn good now that I'm building quality type of systems. Do you understand? Like I said, there's more to show you here. There's more. And I'm only talking about the data access layer project. Jesus. All right, 25 Rand. We'll talk.